Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. It is day 96 of reading the Bible in a year, and it is the second reading of tonight. And this chapter of First Chronicles, chapter 13, that is, ties in with what we just read in 2 Samuel chapter 6. Yeah, that's quite interesting. All right, so let's get reading. The ark brought from Kirjath-jearim. Then David consulted with the captains of thousands and hundreds, and with every leader. And David said to all the assembly of Israel, "If it seems good to you, and if it is of the Lord our God, let us send out to our brethren everywhere who are left in all of the land of Israel, and with them to the priests, the Levites, who are in their cities and their common lands, that they may gather together to us. And let us bring the ark of our God back to us, for we have not inquired at it since the days of Saul." Then all the assembly said that they would do so, for the thing was right in the eyes of all the people. So David gathered all Israel together from Shihor in Egypt as far as the entrance of Hamath, to bring the ark of God from Kirjath-jearim. And David and all Israel went up to Baalah, to Kirjath-jearim, which belonged to Judah, to bring up from there the ark of the Lord, who dwells between the cherubim, where his name is proclaimed. So they carried the ark of God on a new cart from the house of Abinadab, and Uzzah and Ahio drove the cart. Then David and all Israel played music. They played music before God with all their might, with singing on harps, on stringed instruments, on tambourines, on cymbals, and with trumpets. And when they came to Chidon's threshing floor, Uzzah put out his hand to hold the ark, for the oxen stumbled. Then the anger of the Lord was aroused against Uzzah, and he struck him because he put his hand on to the ark, and he died there before God. And David became angry because of the Lord's outbreak against Uzzah. Therefore that place is called Perez Uzzah to this day. David was afraid of God that day, saying, "How can I bring the ark of God to me?" So David would not move the ark with him into the city of David, but took it aside into the house of Obed-Edom, the Gittite. The ark of God remained with the family of Obed-Edom in his house 3 months, and the Lord blessed the house of Obed-Edom and all that he had. David established at Jerusalem. Now Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David and cedar trees, and with masons and carpenters, to build him a house. So David knew that the Lord had established him as a king over Israel, for his kingdom was highly exalted for the sake of his people Israel. Then David took more wives in Jerusalem, and David begot more sons and daughters, and these are the name of his children whom he had in Jerusalem: Shammah, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elishua, Eliphelet, Nogar, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Beliada, and Eliphelet. The Philistines defeated. Now, when the Philistines heard that David had become anointed king over all Israel, all the Philistines went up to search for David. And David heard all of it and went out against them. Then the Philistines went and made a raid on the village of Rephaim. And David inquired of God, saying, Shall I go up against the Philistines? Will you deliver them into my hand? The Lord said to him, Go up, for I will deliver them into your hand. So they went up to Baal-perazim, and David defeated them there. Then David said, God has broken through my enemies by my hand like breaking of water. Therefore they called the name of that place Baal-perazim. And when they left their gods there, David gave a commandment, and they burned with fire. Then the Philistines once again made a raid on a village, on a valley. Therefore David inquired of God, and God said to him, You shall not go up after them. Circle around them and come upon them in front of the mulberry trees. Yeah. And it shall be, when you hear the sound of marching in the tops of the mulberry trees, then you shall go out to battle, for God has gone out before you to strike the camp of the Philistines. So David did as God commanded him, and they drove back the army of the Philistines from Gibeon as far as Gezer. Then the fame of David went out into all the lands, and the Lord brought the fear of him upon all nations. The ark brought to Jerusalem. David built houses for himself in the city of David, and he prepared a place for the ark of God, and pitched a tent for it. Then David said, No one may carry the ark of God but the Levites, for the Lord has chosen them to carry the ark of God and to minister before him forever. And David gathered all Israel together at Jerusalem to bring up the ark of the Lord to its place, which he had prepared for it. Then David assembled the children of Aaron, the Levites, children of Kohath, Uriel the chief, and 120 of his brethren, the sons of Merari, Azahiah the chief, and 220 of his brethren, sons of Gershom, Joel the chief, and 130, the sons of Elizaphan, Shemaiah the chief, and 200, the sons of Hebron, Eliel the chief, and 80 of his brethren, and the sons of Uzziel, Aminadab the chief, and 112 of his brethren. And David called for Zodach and Abiathar the priests, and for the Levites, Uriel, Asaiah, Joel, Shemaiah, Eliel, and Aminadab. He said to them, You are the heads of your fathers' houses. Of the Levites, sanctify yourselves, you and your brethren, that you may bring up the ark of God to Israel, to the place I have prepared for it. Because you did not do it the first time, the Lord our God spoke out against us, because we did not consult him about the proper order. So the priests and the Levites sanctified themselves to bring up the ark of God to Israel. And the children of the Levites bore the ark of God on their shoulders, by its poles, as Moses had commanded, according to the word of the Lord. Then David spoke to the leaders of Levites to appoint their brethren to be singers and accompanied by instruments of music, stringed instruments, harps, cymbals, by raising the voice by resounding joy. So the Levites appointed Heman, the son of Joel, and his brethren, Asaph, the son of Berechiah, and their brethren, the sons of Merari, Ethan, the son of Cushiah, and with them their brethren, the second rank, Zechariah, Ben, Jaziel, Shemariamoth, Jael, Uni, Eliab, Benaiah, Masariah, Mattathiah, Elipheleh, Mechaniah, Obed-Edom, and Jael the keepers. The singers Heman, Asaph, and Ethan were to sound the cymbals of bronze. Zechariah, Azael, Sheremoth, Jael, Uni, Eliab, Asaiah, and Benaiah, with strings according to Alamoth, Mattathiah, Elipheleh, Mukniah, Obed-Edom, Jael, and Azaziah, to direct the harps on the Sheminith. Chenaniah, the chief of the Levites, was instructed to charge of the music, because he was skillful. Berechiah and Elkanah were doorkeepers for the ark. Benaiah and Eleazar the priest were to blow the trumpets before the ark of God. Obed-Edom and Jehiah, doorkeepers for the ark. So David, the elders of Israel, and the captains over thousands went up to bring the ark of the covenant to the Lord from the house of Obed-Edom with joy. And so it was, when God helped the Levites who bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord, that they offered 7 bulls and 7 rams. David was clothed with a robe of fine linen, as were all the Levites who bore the ark, the singers, and Chenaniah, the musician master, with its singers. David also wore a linen ephod. Thus all Israel brought up the ark of the covenant of the Lord with shouting and with the sound of the horn, with trumpets and with cymbals, making music with stringed instruments and harps. And it happened, as the ark of the covenant of the Lord came into the city of David, that Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David whirling and playing music, and she despised him in her heart. Oh, I accidentally read too much today. Yeah, I read more chapters than I probably should have done today. Yay! Alright, I will finish there for that reading, because it does tie in with what we just read in 2 Samuel chapter 6. Yeah, it does. Alright, I will see you in the next reading, in reading number 3, on day 96, in a minute.